In our last video, Nan said something that stayed with me.
Chances are given to you.
I think she's right. But these words also raise another question. What happens to the people who never receive those chances? At the end of this video, I'll show you how together we can help to keep one more door held open. I will never forget a bar visit during my first years in Bangkok. I was enjoying a drink and I was still fascinated from the atmosphere when suddenly one of the girls on stage collapsed and fell off stage. I helped carry her upstairs, but she didn't recover. Her sister begged me to take her to the hospital, so I did. Later, I asked the doctor what was wrong with her. The doctor looked at me and said, "Don't worry, she's okay. She's just not made for this job." I have never forgotten those words because they left me with one question. If she wasn't made for this job, how did she end up there? Was it really her choice? Or had life already closed most of the other doors? Welcome to Thailand Lifestyle. We are
Nann,
and Odin. Today we want to tell you a story about chances. Before we answer that question, let's go back. Long before the new lights, long before the music, long before the bars, she was just a child, playing with her friends, going to school, living one day at a time.
when Odin told me about his first trip to Thailand, I laughed. I told him I was still running around naked. I was 6 years old. Like most children, I wasn't thinking about a career. I wasn't planning my future. I was simply being a child.
And that's how every woman's story begins. So, how does a child become the woman I met in the bar? To answer that, we have to follow the path life laid out in front of her. Again and again, I have heard Nann talk about life in her village.
There wasn't much work. Many young people had to leave to find jobs. Some people drank, some people gambled. Sometimes families lost what a little they had.
And that's where the first doors begin to close. When there is not enough money, school becomes difficult, opportunities become fewer, the future becomes harder to imagine. Sometimes children start carrying burdens that were never theirs to carry. Some girls are lucky. Nann was one of them.
Yes, I worked hard in the school and received a scholarship. Looking back, that scholarship changed my life. Later, I became pregnant and I worked in factory. The hours were long, but I didn't want to give up. I continued studying through online class and finally earned my bachelor degree. Without that scholarship, I honestly don't know where my life would have gone.
Looking back, what makes Nann's story remarkable isn't just her determination. It was a combination of three things: potential, opportunity, and determination. Take away one of those, and her life might have been very different. Now, imagine the same story, but this time that door never opened. She has the same smile, the same hopes, the same determination. But life gives her fewer opportunities. She leaves school early. The only work she can find is in the fields. The pay is low. The days are long. Years go by, and she falls in love. Like millions of young women around the world, she believes she found a future. Soon she is pregnant. Now there's a child depending on her. If the father stays, life is difficult. But if he leaves, another door quietly closes. She finds work in a factory. The hours are long. The wages are just enough to survive. But surviving isn't the same as building a future. The bills keep coming. Her family still needs help. Her child deserves something better. Little by little, the number of open doors becomes smaller, until one day another door appears, the bar. People often ask me, why would a young woman choose to work in a bar? I think that's the wrong question. A better question is, why does that door suddenly look more attractive than all the others? The day in the field pays very little. A factory job pays just enough to survive. One evening in a bar may earn more than several days of factory work. For a young mother, for someone supporting the parents, for someone trying to give her child a better future, that difference matters. But every woman's story is different. Some arrive because of debt, some because of broken relationships, some because a friend introduced them, some because they believed it was their best opportunity. There isn't one story, there are thousands. And walking through that door doesn't mean she was made for that life. Years later, women told me stories I never forgot. One young woman told me that on her first night she went to a room with a customer, but she locked herself into the bathroom and stayed there until the next morning. She simply couldn't go through with it. Another one told me she went to bed fully dressed, hoping somehow the night would end without what she feared. And that's when I finally understood what the doctor meant. Some women work in bars, but not every woman is made for that work. Many girls have a dream, not the dream of working in the bar, the dream of leaving it. Perhaps a little like the Pretty Woman dream, not the Hollywood version, but the hope that one day someone will see them as a person, fall in love, and offer them a different future. That hope explains something many people don't understand. Why some bar girls are genuinely hurt when a customer lies to them, or when they discovered he already has another girlfriend. The customer may see a transaction. She may be hoping for a relationship. And sometimes that dream comes true. When you drive through villages in Isan, you see beautiful homes built by families whose daughters met foreign partners. Some women move abroad, others stay in Thailand, and they build a future together. Those stories become part of village life. That's why hope survives. But for every woman we met in a bar, there are many more we
My sister never entered a bar. She and her husband both worked hard. He worked far away from home. She worked in a factory. Together they saved their money. Eventually, she started her own business. Today, she runs a shop and several restaurants. She is the one who helped me while I was finishing my education.
There are countless women whose names we will never know. Women who became teachers, nurses, office workers, entrepreneurs. The difference isn't always talent. It isn't always determination. Sometimes it's just opportunity. Sometimes it's support. Sometimes it's simply that one important door stayed open. And when that happens, a life can take a completely different direction. The world has changed. When I first came to Thailand, the bars made this reality impossible to ignore. Hundreds of young women stood beneath the neon lights. Their stories were visible for everyone. Today, that world looks very different. Much of it has moved online. Social media, dating apps, private arrangements. Each woman now tries to find her own path. Some succeed, many don't. The bars once gathered hundreds of women in one place. Today they are scattered across thousands of online profiles. The reality hasn't necessarily disappeared. It's simply become much harder to see. The neon lights from before have become now smartphone screens. But behind those screens, many of the same hopes remain. The hope to support a family, the hope to give a child a better future, the hope that one day life will take a different direction. Technology has changed. People haven't. When I came across a video about helping children stay in school, I kept thinking about this story. In the end, this isn't really a documentary about bar girls. It is a documentary about opportunity. Was it really her choice? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Most often the answer is far more complicated than we'd like to believe. We can't reopen every door that already closed, but perhaps we can help keep another one from closing.
One scholarship changed my life. Maybe together we can help change more life.
For around 8,500 baht, a child can stay in school for another year. Maybe that one year changes everything. Maybe that one year keeps another opportunity alive. Maybe it's one more door held open. The video that inspired this documentary was made by Chris Parker. I don't know Chris personally. I am not sponsored. I don't receive anything if you decide to support the children through the foundation he recommends. I simply admire what he is doing. I link his video here and in the description below. If this story has touched you, perhaps together we can help to keep one more door held open. Before you go, I'd like to ask you one question. Do you remember the opportunity that changed your life? For me, it was the chance to live and go to school in the United States for 1 year. That one opportunity shaped the rest of my life. I'd love to hear your story in the comments.
สวัสดีค่ะ บ๊ายบาย